Milwaukee Snap Ring Pliers. Are you a fan? Let's find out. We've got a 9-piece set of Milwaukee's Snap Ring Pliers. Let's dig in, take a closer look at these, and then we'll come back and talk about pricing and what we think of them. These are the new Snap Ring Pliers from Milwaukee. This is a 9-piece set. They came out with these not too long ago that they hit the market, but let's open these up and see what we think. This is a pretty thick clamshell, a really thick clamshell. Might be too much for our little old Ryobi. What do you think, Ryobi? Can you do it? Well, if you keep it out of the paper, it actually does pretty good. Pretty impressed with those little power cutters. By the way, these little guys are on our Father's Day gift guide. Be sure to check that out for some awesome tools to give old Dad. And I think this has made a couple of our gift guides, and for good reason. We use the mess out of this thing, opening clamshells and cutting paper, cardboard, everything else. So back to the main feature here. This is the 9-piece set of Milwaukee Snap Ring Pliers. And the model number on this, or the part number if you want the kit, is the 48-22-6539. And again, it's the 9-piece of their Snap Ring Pliers. And you get 9 Snap Ring Pliers plus the holder as well. So the holder is not counted as part of that piece. So and breaking it down in basics here, you get 3 of the 70 thousandths inch Snap Ring Pliers, 3 of the 47 thousandths, and 3 of the 38 thousandths. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never called and asked for, hey, bring me the 70 thou 90 degree Snap Ring Pliers. Anyway, but that is what they are. You see them actually labeled on the handles as well. Some pretty cool features on these Snap Ring Pliers, and we'll go over them in detail in just a minute. But I wanted to cover the stand or the organizer that it comes with. So you can use this, put it in your toolbox drawer. Now, as far as the height, there is some height to this. Specifically, I think you're looking at about 2 1/4 inches tall. So you'd need at least a 2 1/4 inch height drawer and length on this. And you can fold up the handle. So handle folded up looks like 13.5 inches, and then looks like the widest plier or the longest pliers are about 8 inches. So you need about 8 by 13.5 and a 2 1/4 inch tall drawer for this. Now, some of you are going to go, oh, that's the worst use of space, blah, blah, blah. Well, you don't have to use the organizer. You can pull all these out of here and use whatever organizer you want, weld some chicken wire together or some clothes hangers, or however you want to organize these, you can do so. But it does come with this organizer here that does contain these pretty well as it's got labels right here on the top, got labels on the handle where you can read it. And I believe, yep, there's even magnets on the back. So you could actually put this on your metal wall, on the toolbox, where you get it from the outside of the toolbox. Several ways that you can utilize this. So magnets on the back, screw holes on the back, key hold, as well as being able to pull the handle off if you need to, and putting this in your toolbox. So you don't even have to worry about the handle if that's getting in your way, or you can pop it back on there and carry this around. So enough about the holder or the organizer. Let's take a look at the snap rings. So I'm going to pull the smallest ones out here. These are the 38 thousandths, and that is your tip diameter. And by the way, pull the rubber plugs off the end of it before you use them. I don't know if you knew that. These aren't for the snap rings. And I think you can figure this out right away. So here we have some external snap ring pliers. So it's going to actually do the spreading. But if we want to flip these or reverse these, very easy to do so. You see we have a dial right here. I cannot turn the dial, but if I push this button right here, then I can turn the dial. And so I can easily push this, turn the dial, go all the way around until it locks again. And now I've got internal where it's squeezing to the inside. So I don't have to have a pair for internal and a pair for external. And I also don't have to do any taking apart or anything like that. It's just easily going to flip back and forth between the two. And again, it's going to lock in and index that lock right there when you do so. So as I'm going around, you see that lock has not flipped out yet. Now as I go all the way around, and you'll see this once it gets to the last spot and right there, and so it indexes and locks into place. And so I'm back to an external plier. So again, these are the 38 thousandths tip with 18-degree slant. So basically that's the slant here in the nose is the 18 degrees. So the 38 thousandths is the diameter here on the tip, and then our 18 degrees is the slant right there on that nose. And we'll just grab the next pair. So these are the same 38 thousandths tip with the 45-degree slant. So you can see here the tips just have that 45-degree. It's going to give us more accessibility when we need it. And same dial here to lock this around and to lock that into place where I can go from internal to external. And by the way, so if I'm in where I'm squeezing to the middle and I want to flip it out and I leave it expanded and I turn this around, it's now stuck there. So when you're in that position, just squeeze it and then turn it, and now you're correct. I don't have to do anything when I'm going from here. I don't have to squeeze it at all. I can just turn it. But if I'm in this mode here and I want to go back to the other, then I need to squeeze it a little, or otherwise it'll kind of lock into one another. And it doesn't hurt anything. You can just figure that out, go back to it, and then try it again. But again, it's nice that it indexes in each location and locks out. And again, same thing, 38 thousandths tip with a 90-degree on the nose. So again, depending on where you need this, what you're using it for, same diameter in 3 different pliers, but the different angle on the heads. And then we step up to the 47 thousandths. Again, all the same features. So let's grab some snap rings here. By the way, you can get this whole kit of snap rings at Harbor Freight for $5. When these things go flying across the shop and you're worried about if you can find it or not, it's not bad for $5 to have a backup of, I think it's, what, 220, 300 piece kit here. Now I know the majority you'll never use, but probably a few of the sizes you'll always use. And no, they're not big enough for like your ball joints, things like that, but they're big enough. So here I'll grab a 3/4 inch snap ring. Even though we probably should be stepping up to the larger snap ring pliers, still that's got no problem hanging on to that. At full extension. See, I'm actually distorting that snap ring, but I've got that opened all the way up and it's still holding that and not flinging across the room. Flip this around, go inside, and now squeeze it together. And even go down to the smaller. Nice engagement on the tips. Of course, again, you're going to need the right size for the right part or the right tool. The right tool for the right part. How's that? So we get it. 3 different sizes with 3 different slants on the tips. So we'll go up here to our largest, which are the 70 thousandths, 90-degree bend. And you can see we're a little offset there, and it's because our lock is not locked out. Let's turn that a little bit. Now it's locked out, and now our tips are even. Getting full extension there, and definitely putting some distortion on that snap ring, but staying engaged on the tips. Have a spring on each one. Keeps it open when you're in one position and keeps them closed when you're in the other positions. So that makes it very nice. So you're not having to hold these open or hold them shut. Pretty self-explanatory, a 9-piece set of pliers with the organizer that you can throw away or you can keep. I do think it's pretty cool that you can, hang it, you can screw it to a wall, you can use the magnets, throw it in your drawer, whatever you want to, or throw it away and put your snap ring pliers in whatever you want to. Anyway, these are $200 for the set. Not really cheap, but at the same time for a 9-piece set of quality snap ring pliers. And if you're a fan of the converting, internal and external, I like them. They're solid feel and they don't get hung up. Again, you can hang them up if you want to, if you're not kind of paying attention between the two, but they don't get stuck in the way. You just back it off and go the other way and you're absolutely fine. So check them out for yourselves. You get a lifetime warranty on these, and we'll have a link in the description. Hey, keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And if you don't mind, hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And by all means, if you hated our video, well, give us a thumbs down. But would you let us know in the comments why? Have a great day and keep smiling.